What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to Life of CLETUS. Today we're going to go over the Storm Collectibles Mike Tyson 1/6 scale collectible figure, the Olympic exclusive edition. Let's go.
In the blue corner, CLETUS Seldin, a 23-year-old long amateur. His affiliation, Veterans Memorial.
Has made it all the way to the championship bout here at the Garden. And there is Eddie Gomez.
Okay, let's get into it, guys. So I got this from Sideshow Collectibles for $175 plus tax plus shipping. This is from Storm Collectibles. It is not a hot toy. It's a different company, and they own another license for a boxer named Muhammad Ali. Yeah, so they have those two licenses. With this box, I do like it because the artwork is actually more of a painting style compared to the movie promos you normally get, or the hot toy figures. Like, it's usually just like a movie promo picture. This one actually has artwork that's actually painted. It has Storm Collectibles up top. They have the American flag and him in his uniform with the American flag trunks, which I will be debating as this video goes on. On the side here, we have the Mike Tyson artwork when it comes to the red, white, and blue. And this Mike Tyson font here is like kind of chromish, and it reflects off the screen pretty nice. And on the back, we have the Mike Tyson 1/6 scale collectible figure, the Olympic exclusive edition. It does say special thanks to Everlast. They must have got the permission to throw their logos on here free of charge, I'm guessing. It says Storm Collectibles, produced by Storm Collectibles, and is from Hong Kong. It has a little bit of a choke and hazard thing here, and no one under 15 should be playing with this figure. So I'm going to take him out of the box. I'm going to take all the accessories and show them to you right now. Let's go. When you do get him out of the box, he literally will come naked. Yeah, he is completely naked. But you do get to see the actual body type that's on him. He is seamless, and he is a big difference between collecting a hot toy figure to collecting this one, because his entire body is rubber, and it's all seamless joints here, which is awesome to a certain extent, which I will talk about a little bit later. Again, it's a little weird to be a grown man getting a figure completely naked. I did want to push on that because it's absolutely bogus, but you can see the actual hip joints here when it rotates on both sides, and same thing up top here as well. You can rotate his joints all the way around on this side, and it's all on this one little ball hinge. It's a little something different to see when you're looking at these figures from different companies, how they articulate them a little bit differently, and how they have to work with a certain figure like this boxing posed Mike Tyson. As for accessories, he does come with this Mike Tyson Olympics special edition little plate here, and it comes with a little piece to attach it so he can stand on there. I do like this. If it was like the other two that they actually released, that came one with a heavy bag and one with a speed bag, this one comes with neither, and they reuse the same kind of base here, which if I didn't know that the other ones came with those two other things, I might have not cared, but I kind of do, because the other ones came with a speed bag or a heavy bag. This one should have definitely came with, I don't know, jump rope you can throw in here. You could throw in a double end bag. That's the only disappointment so far on this figure, because it comes with that same exact base like I mentioned, where you would hang either a heavy bag or a double end bag or speed bag on each side there. The nameplate is nice, and it's inscripted on a plaque which is then on this Mike Tyson base here. It says Mike Tyson Olympics Special Edition on the front. The size for it's awesome. I won't be displaying it like this. Only way I would have is if I got those two little accessories that came with the other ones. Now for the accessories though, they only come with one set of gloves, which are detailed, and it says Everlast on there, which is nice. They are black and white, which means they're neutral. These should have came in blue and gold, because if you were wearing these in the Golden Gloves, that's the colors that you actually get when you box. So I don't know why they didn't do that on these. I don't know if they've been doing just black ones on the other figures, and that's why they did these here. You can see all the detail with the gloves, how they get laced up, that go all the way up top there. He is making a fist. He's not keeping his hand open, and it shows all the detail in a realistic glove. Definitely is one of the best featured boxing gloves I've seen as a 1/6 scale figure for sure. Next up, the accessory wise, we have the blue boots. So he comes with no hands. He comes with these boots right here that have two different color blues, a little bit darker here, and they have a little ripple effect as if he was wearing them. You got the white lines like an Adidas. It doesn't say what brand of shoe it is or boot it is. I believe I don't even think they had brands really back then when he was boxing, quality wise, that would show a big label on there. You can see that the paint on there is really fantastic, and you got them all the way laced up to the top. I can't recall, but I'm guessing that Mike Tyson wore regular amateur boots as an amateur instead of when he was a pro, when he wore the short ones with the no socks. Both boots are all the same. There's just a lefty and a righty. And again, there's no actual feet that you would actually exchange for these ones. So you're just getting one set here, just like the gloves. Moving on to the headgear, which is really nice. I think this is great quality headgear. The Everlast logo, made in China, made in USA on the front, and it's identical to what a headgear as an amateur you would actually wear. Now, there is some lacing on the back, which is, I don't know why it has so much rope here, because there's nothing to really do with it at all. I tried to put it on Mike Tyson and try to play around with it. It just kept getting in the way, which was a negative for sure. Normally, for a boxer, what we would normally do is lace these through here, back here, and go all the way around and around the other way, and then you would tighten it back here. But because it's a toy figure or a collectible figure, you're not going to be able to do that. So there's all this extra room here. Now, the other feature is the headgear. If you were going to put this on Mike Tyson, I highly suggest putting this through first and then putting it on his face, on his head, and then clamping it down. Me personally, I would probably keep him with it unbuckled and just wrapped up to the side like that, and just leave him on display just like that. But it's a great quality headgear, and right on par for any figure that you ever see, and looks identical to a real life one. Now, getting into his first set of trunks, you got the Everlast, you got the gold and blue. These were the colors that he wore during the amateurs when he fought in the New York Golden Gloves, and when he fought for the Olympic trials as a junior Olympian. And these things are tight. They're nice and tight. They snug on him. They fit him perfectly. I do like them a lot. The quality is there for these. You can see the stitching that goes all the way around. And to keep that logo nice and high quality, it looks so perfect. I have a pair of these as well when I fought that are same exact color and the same exact trunks basically when I fought in the Golden Gloves at the Madison Square Garden. Which then leads into this one here, is his blue tank top. This blue tank top is something that you would have wore during the amateurs, because they usually gave you a blue one or they gave you a yellow one that we have. And this one here is something a little different, because normally it would say Golden Gloves. They should have put a pair of boxing gloves on here maybe, or maybe a Catskills thing back here, but they kept it plain. I'm guessing some of his fights he just had a plain one on. It is a snug fit on him. It has like a little bit of a tight like feel to it, like around here you can see like it's like a wiry kind of thing. It's not like there's a wire in it, but it has a good feel that it doesn't wrap around his neck when you or bunch together when you put it on him, which is very nice. And I'm extremely happy that they did that instead of it all bunching up. So that is a home run. And that leads into this one. And this is the USA jersey here that he wore during his amateur trials, where he He didn't win the tournament, but he was able to compete in it. The only problem I had with this so far is on here, some of his body, because of his body type, started bleeding onto the actual cloth, which is a little bit of an issue. I know they had that a few times with a few Hot Toys, that the body actually bleeds on the accessory. You're getting that hit here. I do like the USA. It's printed right dead center the way it would be. And it's same as the other one with the cloth being somewhat bendable, but not too bendy, that it goes in, that as if it's hugging him too tight, and it just looks awkward. So that looks really good. And these fit on him snugly. Now, they did add a pair of trunks in here. I don't know why they added these USA trunks. He never wore these at all, ever, as I know of, like ever, never ever has worn these. And the quality of it's actually a little bit less than this one. This one has a nice smooth fabric, while this one, it has like a hard feel. And I really don't like them. Just because they don't really have any meaning to them for him. I could see these going on Rocky Balboa or Apollo Creed, but not for Mike Tyson. I might take these and see if I can fit them on that life-size Groot, which would probably go with this and this together. So I'm going to leave that at just like that. And then the last accessory here is the Catskills Boxing Club jacket, his robe before you enter the ring. It has a little bendy wire here, which is freaking nice, because if you pose him up in a boxing pose, you can actually bend it, and as if he was throwing a punch, the robe would actually open. It comes with two tones. You got your gold and your blue. The Everlast logo here is on the front, which is tight. The colors on here, the fabric is off the charts. The robe goes all the way around with the little tie that goes around it, which is nice. This thing looks good on Mike Tyson. I'm going to say that. The only other complaint that I had with the robe was how tight it is up here. It doesn't like go all the way back. It just looks like this part here is blocking it, which I really don't like at all. But overall, it's I don't know, I would give this like a 9 out of a 10 just because of that. One featured there. And this, I don't know, this could have got a little bit of a wire in it as well, so you can pose it, because it just flails a little bit. But overall, this thing is nice, and it goes tight on him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Mike Tyson figure together. You can see on this one, the peg actually came out. To actually put it back in is simple. You just boom, and it's already on. No complications at all for any of these figures, which I like. I like a lot. Even my Toys Era mechanical, the peg actually stayed in, which was a home run, because sometimes these things give you a nervous wreck when you're using them. But let me get him dressed up. Now, when I was putting this shirt on, because it's not a t-shirt, and because he's like rubbery and his arms articulate very well in, I just lifted his arms up instead of going with that traditional arms in the back that I would have to do for his robe itself. And as you can see, it goes on him very smooth, and it wraps around the corners of his body very nice, and around his neck, so it doesn't look like it's bulging up or it's not laying the way that you would want it. So it goes on extremely smooth. As for the legs, same thing. There's nothing special here. You're dressing a goddamn doll, which is whatever. I get it. Mike Tyson's naked. When getting them on, you're going to have to decide which way you're actually going to pose his actually shirt. Are you going to tuck it in underneath, or are you going to lay it over? For me, I think I'm going to lay it over instead of tucking it in, because, you know, when you tuck your shirt in boxing, it gets really tight, and he doesn't really have a cup or anything to put over it. So if you were going to do it, it would look like this, which is nice. I think I'm going to, now after getting it like this, before I got it wrinkly, I think I'm going to leave it like this for now. I'm going to leave it like this for now. But again, you could pose it either with it out or in, or you could do half and half, like you were when you were in high school, or junior high, really, when you did half in, half out. Where's my 90 kids at? Bam. We're going to throw on his little boots. which is nice. You just push right in, snaps right in. And then the other one, which is the same thing, you just snaps right in. The seamless joints with the outfit on looks perfect, and you could see the height quality for the shorts resembles exactly to Mike Tyson, because he never wore his shorts really low to his knees, you can say. He wore them nice and high, so you can see those quadricep muscles, which is on point there. Look at that. Before I get into his head sculpt, I'm going to show you guys him with his jacket on, because the head sculpt is what really sells you on this figure overall. I do want to point out he does have his little Mike tattoo on here, and he has a little cross with some like little leaves there. I'm not really religious, so I'm not really sure what that means, but he has it on there, and the Mike that's right there on his arm. Now putting these on, his arms just go straight back, which is nice. Nice and smooth. Once you get the robe on here, you're really going to want to make sure you turn these little seams that go all the way down, just like it was an outfit of yours that runs around your entire body. Because his arms were back, they were bent, so you're going to want to turn those arms all the way around. I do love when he's in this outfit just like this. It is a home run figure for sure. Like, I am adored with it. Now let's go look at his head sculpts, which are so simple to put on. They come with two heads. They come with this one that I'm going to do first, which is not my favorite one. And to get them on, you're just going to push it on there just like so. Usually it clicks, sometimes it doesn't. But it actually works for Mike Tyson, because Mike Tyson doesn't have a big neck. And you can see on here that his neck, well, he doesn't have a long neck, you can say. He has a very short, strong, sturdy neck. And that's what it gets you right here, and it looks perfect on there. You could barely even see the creases when you actually bend them up or down. You can't see that. And his head sculpt is actually my least favorite one, because I thought they should have did something with his mouthpiece, but it looks like there's a mouthpiece in there, but at the same time, he looks like he's doing a duck face to you. And because Mike Tyson's short, he kind of looks upwards with that mean grin, so they got the eyes on point for where he wants to look on this. It is very detailed, as you can see, for his haircut that goes all the way around here. And the expression on his face is too cute, but it's just those lips on this head sculpt I really just don't like. Like I said, it looks like he's doing a duck face to you. It doesn't look like a typical like Mike Tyson face. They could have gave him a little bit more of a grin or something a little bit different on there. On the back here, he has the tape up that goes all the way across, and it replicas Mike Tyson back in the 80s as an amateur, for sure. You can see the lift on the eyebrow, which is freaking awesome. And that was the first head sculpt, which I won't be posing them because it has duck lips, where, like I said, I wish there was more of the mouthpiece, I guess, or some other kind of picture. This just doesn't do it for me. This is more of the Mike Tyson one for me. The only other, maybe he was throwing a punch and he made that little noise where you throw a punch. But like he's doing a hook and he comes with it. I'm not feeling it. But this is the head sculpt for sure for me. It's not like you would need a second one because you want to use both head sculpts. It's either this one or none of them. And it looks just like Mike Tyson. And it's a great picture because when you're posing this guy, you're actually going to use this whole outfit together, and you're not going to have him like in the boxing ring yet. You're going to keep him after he was in the locker room, ready to go out, and he's standing at the entrance, that he would see his opponent on the other side with all this stuff on, and that's exactly the face that Mike Tyson would give you. Look at that thing. I love the eyebrow detail, the lips, the nose, the expression, the eyes with the looking up because he is shorter, and the hair cut that goes all the way around is very nice and very detailed for sure. And again, this is a rubberized body, which is seamless and very nice, but I have my only complaint for it when it comes to posability, which I'll talk about afterwards. Now, if you throw on his headgear here, like I mentioned before, if you're gonna pose him with this on, you're going to want to go through this here first and then clamp it down. If not, you're never going to get it on. For me, I'm going to just leave it strangled up on the side there, and then I would take it and just leave it like that. My only issue was this, with all this rope here. You see all this threading here? It's like you just want to tangle it up and just put it underneath the actual hood, like so, and then move it back up and just hide it from the rest of it. And you would leave it on Mike Tyson like that. I really wouldn't buckle it at all, because when I'm thinking of Mike Tyson right now, he's, again, just warmed up. He's about to enter the arena or the stadium, even gymnasium, really. That's where the boxing matches were as an amateur. And then he's ready to get in the ring. So this wouldn't be buckled up. He still has his jacket on. He has the USA stuff going on and the trunks, which is really nice. Now, when it comes to articulation on this thing, it bends extremely well. His arms go all the way up, all the way down, 360 degrees, and the bend in the elbow goes almost all the way down to his face. Look at that. I haven't had any other figures that did that, to where you can get that replica of those Mike Tyson poses where he keeps that little peekaboo style. So if you wanted to do that with both his hands, you can almost get there in that peekaboo style, which is extremely nice. His articulation for the legs, full split. A full split for sure. His knees do bend back, but you're going to get that crease in here, so I wouldn't recommend that. It's not one of those ratchet ones where it tells you how many ratchets it is. It's just a full-blown, you bend it, you feel it, and you can see it. Same thing on the other side. It is what it is. I wouldn't bend it too much. I would just get him in a good boxing pose and leave him there. On the back, you can see the details in the calves and the legs. For the ankles, he bends just enough. This is just enough you're going to need for a boxer for his ability. He's not going to be kicking or anything. You're just going to have him in a boxing pose. So you would really just need him down and just to the side here, just like so. So you don't really need too much articulation for the actual ankles. The wrist, the forearms here, and everything bends perfectly, and his head goes all the way up and basically almost all the way down because of that rubberized outfit he has on here. So I'm going to back this thing up now and show you some poses and give you guys my final thoughts of this figure. You're going to have to be very careful, and you're going to have to decide how you're going to want to deeply get your posability, you could say, on him, because he comes with those seamless joints, which for this figure they could have actually did without because of the robe. And I'm going to show you why, because if you look here, you're going to want to pose him in that Mike Tyson pose where you've seen me bend the knees, and you can see that crease there, and over time that is definitely going to damage the figure. And I could see the same thing happen if you pose him in a typical peekaboo style kind of pose. If you get him down, if you don't bend his legs too much, and you really get him down in that pose just like this, or if you give him one of those typical Mike Tyson hooks, you know, it's nice and tight across his body here, and that same crease as if you were getting here on the leg is going to stay there. So unless you're just taking a few different pictures of him, I would not pose him like that. And this is probably the one time that you'll probably ever hear it, is this figure should have gotten a non-seamless body type because of that. As cool as it looks outside with the robe off, you're not going to buy this figure and not use the robe on it, and having him in the robe brings no reasoning to have a seamless body type. Now overall, this figure alone is a fun figure to get and fun to play with for sure. I enjoy posing him for the time being that as I have him, but overall, you're not going to want to keep him in those iconic featured poses that you can think of as a Mike Tyson fan. Me being a boxer myself and wanting to have him dig down deep, bend his knees, and cross his arm, coming with a left hook, is just not going to do it for you at all. Pose them to the side, which is what it is. I can live with that. Because what I really can figure myself doing is, like I mentioned earlier, is he's walking out of the dressing room, he's standing there, and he's just looking over and giving that little side eye to the opponent that he's about to face. And like I said before too, this robe top is just blocking his view just a little bit, and it's literally just a little bit, where I want to have him, boom, facing over there, his leg forward, and he's about to enter the ring, and he's about to give you that typical Mike Tyson ass whooping that we all love to see and what we all tuned in for each and every time he ever entered the ring. The man is a legend. The man definitely deserves his own figure. The head sculpt is off the charts, and definitely one of my personal favorites for the collection. I don't own too many Mike Tyson figures or any boxing figures in general, but as an iconic legend for any sports fan growing up in the 90s, this man is the definition of boxing. I hope you guys enjoyed my first ever review of a 1/6 scale figure for this channel. This is again the Mike Tyson Storm Collectibles exclusive, the US Olympic edition. See you in the next one. Boom.
Mike Tyson surrounded by security, his handlers as he comes in. Of course, he'll have Kevin Rooney in his corner. Steve Lott. You know all the history. You've been reading about it for the past several weeks. The heavyweight champion of the world comes into the ring. This is why we're here. Tyson looks the way he always does when he walks in. He's here strictly for business. He's got that scornful look on his face. Hey, let's get it going. In a while, you see him push the leather back on his gloves. It's like he wants to get his knuckles closer to the leather so he can get them on somebody's face.